Tell them start the race. I Jamaica we say all the way.
When the celebration starts, we touch the stadium and know so we jamming there.
Hey, all the way. CVM all the way. Sunrise all the way. Uncle Dennis all the way.
Miss Kitty.
All the way. Our viewers all the way. I gotta tell you. Oh my goodness.
I like it.
Amazing.
Big up you saying. Big up you saying. And this production team, Busy Signal featuring Chanel Muir.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
And of course, that was you saying both production, 18 production, because of course the new gent walk as well, right? NJ.
Nice,
I love it. And we're sprinting into the weekend, sprinting closer to the Olympics to be held in Paris. Lovely.
The city of love.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it.
I love that hairstyle. I love that outfit here. Looking like a 1960s wife.
Thank you, darling. I'm on cloud 9. Thanks to Closet Cloud. Thank you, Closet Cloud. Yes, Closet Cloud family.
No, man.
You know what I mean?
No, man. They have given you some really nice pieces.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
No, man. It pops. It pops. You could have wear it in our election day coverage and nobody no vex.
You know something? You say I have all parties covered.
Yeah, you have NDM, you have Labour, you have PNP. I love it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm at the white, but then I'll wear pretty. You see that? Yeah, I gotta tell you.
You saw the people in the Republican convention. It become a trend. Everybody wear bandage for them.
You know, so I just cannot. I absolutely, and these are the things in life.
One whole heap of people are wearing it, and I'm like, it's a trend.
It's a trend.
It's a trend.
Listen, Dennis, as much as we hate to admit it, Donald is
He's a marketing genius.
Like, how he does this thing, because now the narrative has shifted completely to him, and he has semi-immortalized himself. It's like, okay, so the attempted assassination, and then, but never dead, so I'm here to tell the story, I'm here to tell the tale. It's like, no, Donald just stays with him. No,
it's brilliant.
This is brilliant. Billions.
They've never seen another brilliance like mine. It's the best, people.
Yes.
It's the best. The doctors say I turned my head at the right time. And I got my ear. And they said it's the best ear they've ever had. It's the best, people.
Somebody come for Dennis and I
No,
Dennis, my tribe. Oh, my
nobody like
goodness.
him. With our favorite TK-47 in possession of illegal firearms. Look at those arms, man. You in the gym, T.
When you start going to the gym, you have to show the gains.
TK-47.
You have to show the gains, Mrs. Kitty.
That's right. Yeah.
We're not where we want to be yet, you know.
But we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Man.
We have to show the progress.
Yeah.
You know
Watch
what I'm
it
saying?
Watch it dip. Watch it dip.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna leave me alone. Good morning. Let's jump straight into the headlines. Pommel's forfeits $40 million in Nassau corruption case. So Lawrence Pommel's, the former senior official at National Energy Solutions Limited, who was sentenced to 9 months imprisonment after pleading guilty to 2 counts of corruption and 6 counts of possession of criminal property, will now have to forfeit assets valued in excess of $40 million.
All right. Just for the record, those images, the gentlemen that you saw, none of them were Lawrence Pummel, by the way.
Right.
They were Selvin
Hay,
Hay and Keith Darian of the Financial Investigations Division, just in case anybody was wondering.
Thought, Dennis, you know, like, I'm telling you, we're right there. Like, we're here. Yeah, we're there. Because I'm like, I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
That those
aren't Mr. Pommel's.
Very well.
But I mean, he must be feeling pummeled, generally speaking, right now. But no, the truth is that we have laws that we've put in place to repatriate ill-gotten gain, and the state should be able to take back the gains of what is deemed as criminal activity. So kudos to the Financial Investigations Division for pursuing that angle of it, because it's one thing to say, oh, he was found guilty, sentenced to 9 months, because then you can take 9 months and come out and come back and, with whatever you got out of the process and start your life over better. Actually, no, the law is supposed to act as a deterrent. So that person will say, you're going to spend this time in incarceration.
As well as.
And you will not benefit from the ill-gotten gain.
Illegality, yeah.
You know?
Well, I consider crocheting to be my baby. I know many people do it, but I'm taking ownership of it as well.
Yes.
It started during the COVID-19 pandemic. I just decided I needed to learn another skill.
Yes.
You know, as you said, add another skill to my repertoire. And so I just encouraged my mom to buy me some yarn and some hooks. And I went on YouTube, and as they say, the rest is history.
Wow.
Yes, my love developed there.
So you never did this before?
Never.
Wow. Because normally people, you know, we associate crocheting with, you know, our grandmother or the older set of women, more mature women, you know what I mean? Who used to walk around with the yarn in a them bag and crochet and have the crochet thing, right? So talk to me about some of the pieces that you have. Let's start with the bags first, because is this regarded as crocheting? What is this?
We call this hand knitting.
Oh, hand knitting.
Yes, this is a thicker type of yarn that you can't necessarily use with a hook.
Yes.
There are hooks that could possibly manage, but we use our hands mostly.
So you did this by hand?
By hand.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Right. So these are called chunky bags.
Chunky bags.
Right.
They're really chunky, guys.
Yes,
and they're
they
nice and
are.
soft too. Yeah,
And
I
very
like them.
thick.
Yes,
Yes.
very thick. So nice for your phone and nice for like your lip gloss.
Right, in
Yes.
your card, and you're not carrying much, but they're made from tubular yarn. So
Okay.
this is tube. You can feel that it's stuffed with something.
Right.
Cotton is inside it.
Right.
Right, and so what I do is I just plait it together. So, because a lot of people see it and say, oh, you plait it. Really, it's not, it's chains.
Oh.
But just for layman's terms, I say I plait it together and it forms these beautiful creations.
Wow.
And I'm able to manipulate the tube yarn into whatever I desire. So for example, this has the handle, so I call it the chunky bag, but when it doesn't have the handle, it's the clutch.
Aye, okay,
Right.
nice. This is cute. Okay, so those are so people can order these bags from you?
Yes.
How do we order and what the different styles?
Okay, so primarily I am on Instagram at Threadlightly by Tony. So that is where you can message me, reach out if you want to order or purchase one of these bags.
Yes.
Currently I have 3 styles. This is the original style. This is what I started out with. Then I branched off into this pumpkin type shape for the fall collection.
Wow.
And then lastly, I introduced
The clutch.
chunky clutch.
Yes.
Right, so these are the 3 styles. However, very customizable. So if you want the pumpkin shape with the chain, I can have that done. If you want the standard with the chain, I can have that done. If you want no clasps, whatever you want, the bags are very customizable.
Well, for sure, electric vehicles operate differently, for one, you know, so we have to look at how we best provide cover for them. Primarily things like the battery, because, you know, they are battery operated.
Yes.
We have to confirm that we're providing you the cover that will suit you in the event of a claim. Right.
And so in doing so, are there specific stipulations that don't apply to other kinds of vehicles?
Well, I wouldn't say there are stipulations. What happens is what we've done is we've designed, again, how we design these products for our customers to cover things like the battery, things like the replacement of the charger, because some persons you do get the charging port, right? So essentially the policy provides you even cover for a replacement car, just standard, in the event of a loss. Because the truth is, when you look at electric vehicles, in the event that they suffer damage, the loss could be very damaging. You know, it could be total because of the nature of the risk.
Yes.
Yeah. So we took everything into consideration in providing the best cover for our customers.
And so in doing so, do you differentiate like other vehicles with third party versus
so comprehensive, yeah.
So ideally, we offer the electric vehicle policy is primarily for our comprehensive clients. So certainly you're looking at covering the vehicle as a whole. There are different types of hybrid vehicles too. You know, you have the straight up, they have the straight up electric, then you have a plug-in hybrid. So there are different types, and we have to look at that entirely to assess the risk in order to provide you the best cover.
Is it still like 1 year coverage?
For sure,
Okay.
a year. So all other conditions that our private car would benefit from would apply, but standardly things like the battery, replacing the charging port, removing the vehicle in the event of a loss, those are things that are done differently from a standard private car. So at BCIC, we ensure that you're adequately covered.
With other vehicles, I know, for instance, some weeks ago you spoke about like roadside assistance and that kind of thing. I mean, the circumstances, I mean, a car is a car, but the circumstances might be a little bit different. Is that an option to have roadside assistance?
Certainly, our roadside assistance is for all our private car policies.
Right.
So at the end of the day, we will respond to you once you have BCIC Assist.
I've always said plan ahead, guys. Set a budget for anything that you are doing, and it does also include for the summer.
Yes.
So if you plan to go outside this summer, which we all want to do, we want to go here, there, ensure that there is a budget involved for that. However, if you did not plan ahead from January, you didn't come to masterclass to learn that you can plan ahead, we're here now and you still want to go outside. What we're going to do, we want to check July's salary coming up. Next week is payday, for example. We go to our budget nice and easy. The 50, 30, 20, we always go back there. 30% of our salary is for wants. So those are the things that you're outside. The summer events, the activities should fit within your 30%. So for example, your salary is $150 a month. 30% of that is $45,000. All your wants for this month, for the rest of the summer, should come from this $45,000. So if the event costs more than this, stay home. If the event is almost as this, you can go one event. But you're not going to overspend this $45,000 or the 30% of your salary that you are getting. Are we all clear on that? I'm talking to you this morning.
Amen.
Please make sure that you are aware of
Preach.
that. From the 30%, what is possible? You want to realize what's possible. So maybe it's 2 beach events for you and the kids. Maybe it's 1 beach, 1 river. Maybe it's 1 event. Maybe it's just some fest alone. You can go for 1 night. Maybe it's 2 church convention. Maybe it is 2 concerts. But you want to ensure that whatever you're doing fits within what you can afford. Number 4.
Sir Carlton, you said the 30, what again, just to go over
50,
that?
30, 20.
Okay, so 50, 30, 20.
So you do that
Okay.
50% to your needs, 30 towards wants, 20 towards your savings. But any event that you're doing this summer must fit within your 30% and nothing more for the rest of the summer. Because guess what? School is coming up and the kids have to go back to school.
Yeah.
All right? Number 4, choose the event that is important to you. So if it is that you are someone that loves music and concert, you do that. If you love the beach and water and nature, do that. But you can't be all things to all man when you're on a limited budget. So relax yourself a little bit more. You do not have to go to every event. And every pan knock, you need to dead there.
My mother would have said, lady mother just say, on every rainfall, you have to wet up the night.
Yeah, my mother tell me, on every pan knock, you must dead there. And that goes for you with your budget as well.
Well, the numbers tell a very different story. The numbers have shown that we have removed hundreds of thousands of tons of plastic from our waste stream. But people need to understand what we're trying to achieve. And the first thing for the public to understand is that all plastics aren't created equally. Some are economically viable for recycling programs and some are simply not. Meaning that the government and the people of Jamaica have to contemplate storing these materials for some 450 years. Now, there's no economic model that helps us to manage waste for 450 years because all plastic is non-biodegradable, right? So we target non-biodegradable, non-recyclable plastics with the bans. What we've been doing simultaneously is working with companies like the Recycling Partners of Jamaica, like Recycle Jamaica, to ensure that we're also simultaneously increasing our recycling rate. So for instance, in 2015, Jamaica recycled about 6% of its plastic waste. As at last month, we went above 35% in terms of all bottles produced in the country going back into the recycling phase. Now, 70% is a global target. We expect to be there in 2 to 2.5 years, be reaching that 70% limit. But that's for things that can be recycled, that get exported, that get reused. We've taken several other streams of effort where we said, you know, microbead plastics can't be recycled. Lunch boxes, because they're contaminated, can't be recycled in that way. So we've said we're going to remove these from the waste stream because there is nothing to do with them at that stage.
Right. So in this phase, these particular plastics, again, not all are created equal, these particular plastics, tell us like some of the things that we commonly would see that falls under this.
So the microplastics are the one that I think generally is easiest to accept for most citizens. So you have many personal care products, so the face scrubs, deodorants, all sorts of things that have these these microbeads added.
So those are bad, Minister?
They're terrible for environmental health and human health.
Wow.
So there's no wastewater treatment plant on Earth that can extract those from when they go down the drain, right?
Yes.
So it ends up in your soil, it ends up in your rivers, it ends up in your ocean. So that's bad. It's also very bad for human health, as the WHO and the UNEP would have recently published. So people are, that doesn't make a numeric difference, but it does make a difference to environmental and human health. So that's a part of this phase.
Right.
I think it's a coaching. I think we've been doing a good job with our coaching over the years. I mean, in recent times, I think he needs a statue somewhere. You have the likes of Stephen Francis. When you look at what Glenn Mills has been able to produce with Johan Blake and as Usain Bolt and Warren Ware, that 1, 2, 3 is something that we will always remember. And just a tremendous coaching that we've gotten from Stephen Francis over the years. I mean, where do we start? From people believing that it can be done in Jamaica. Bridget Foster Hilton, Asafa Powell, that school of athletes that he had with Melanie Walker, that initial pool really gave Jamaicans that belief that we could usher in a new era in track and field, which we're now seeing the fruits of now. Yeah. And he's occupied so much of those podium spots in the Olympics for the women, certainly. And this year, Kishane Thompson is looking pretty good again on the men's side. So I think it's a coaching.
TC, what about you? Because you've been around the sport for a while.
I believe the catalyst was when clubs decided to go pro.
Okay.
When that happened, track and field on the island was no longer a hobby. It now became a profession and a business opportunity. The approach was different. Athletes now had different opportunities. First, your opportunity was to get a scholarship to go abroad to study, to train. Now you can stay home and train.
And make a life from it.
Yeah. You can now go from high school to being a pro right here. Okay. You don't have to travel to look to get your goals. So I think the catalyst was going pro, deciding that the amateurism is a thing of the past, and now we are moving towards the professional setup.
But TC, one of the things you'll say, or you look at, even within the same track and field aura, we've not necessarily excelled at all field events or all track events. Do you think there's something that has naturally gifted Jamaica with the ability to be so good at 100 meter, 200 meter, 400 meter, 110 meter hurdles, discus, a hammer throw versus javelin versus high jump versus, all of those. And with triple jump, with long jump, we've excelled in some, but not all. What do you think contributes to that specific kind of area that we're good in track and field with?
You need, in new areas, you need one person to break out.
Okay.
And you get that breakout athlete. Younger athletes starting to say, wow,
this is possible.
This is possible.
So Code Jamaica is an umbrella of programs that is supported by Separate Foundation, Muscle Foundation, and also through a grant by the American Friends of Jamaica, where we offer a robotics competition, a math competition, a problem-solving competition, and a coding competition. So what you're seeing here is a result of one category of the robotics competition, which George Headley has been successful in, and that allows them to create a project that solves a real-world problem with robotics.
Coach, first of all, tell us about the Tech Titans at George Headley
All
Primary.
right, so here to my right, immediate, we have Joel Willis, and also next we have Camelia Lawrence. They're both grade 6 students, and
soon to be grade 7.
Soon to be grade 7, yes. And They did very well in the competition, as they said we came first, and they were very excited about it, and we also came third. So we came first and third.
Wow.
Super coach, you know.
Super coach. I like
Two teams,
so we
first
had
place
two
and third
teams.
place.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yes.
So what is it that, okay, so let me ask the ladies, because you are, congratulations to you and all your hard work. What exactly did you do? What is this, apparatus that we're looking at now?
Get Amelia.
So this is basically our fire robot. It's like a mini fire truck, but more tech-like.
Okay.
This is our 6 wheels that's able to make it drive. This is our water tank that has in the water pump. This is our motor that moves left to right, so it can outdoor fire.
Okay.
Right here is our distance sensor. So the purpose for this is when it's closest to the distance, it will stop and out it. So around the back right here, this is all the programming did by Joel and Jedison. Jedison is not here right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this is really our AI controller board that controls the whole board. This is a screen for LCD. It's a LCD, but it's not working right now.
Okay.
My first time seeing skateboarding was on campus when I used to go to UTech around about 6 years ago. And from then I've been pretty much involved with skateboarding community.
As a growing up, I used to love skateboarding. I grew up elsewhere, but I used to love skateboarding. But then in Jamaica, road them kind of hard if skateboard to school because the pothole them and them something there. Like, where do people go? Where are the spaces? Because in Jamaica, you kind of need spaces for that.
Yeah, so like 4 years ago, we built a skate park in Bull Bay, 8 miles Bull Bay, called Freedom Skate Park. And then there's a next skate park in Boston, Portland.
Oh, yes, I've seen this on social media.
Nice.
So there's 2 right now, and we plan to try and develop more around the island.
So, Katie, tell us, what about you?
How I got into it?
Yeah.
So I used to live in New York for a little bit, and I always used to see people skateboarding, and I was obviously you need a board to get into it. It's hard to borrow people board. So I saved up my money, my hard-earned little money in them times. And I finally bought my first skateboard, put it together myself, and since then I fell in love. It was my first kind of investment without help from anybody, and after that, I couldn't stop.
You look vaguely familiar, like I've seen you somewhere before, but I'm going to ask Abigail. Abby, why do you think it's important to encourage girls?
Yeah, because it's normally a guy thing.
Yeah, I mean, you do see a lot of boys, but and there's this kind of a stigma of being tomboyish if you're skateboarding. But why is it so important for girls to have this? And I like the whole freedom park thing. Freedom.
Okay, so I think skateboarding is predominantly a very male-centric sport for the most part. A lot of the representation is from men. So I think, especially in Jamaica, considering that it's such a on the come-up sport, I think Girl Skate Jamaica is a really great thing that we have going on to get girls involved and to really kind of build a community for girls out here. So I think it's a good thing, and it's also good in the way of becoming helping girls to be more active and to put themselves out there sport-wise.
Physical activity. I love
Welcome back to the round table this morning. Our topic is summer road trip, all-time favorite stops. Now listen, the whole of them are me from man and say, all I do is drive up and down in Jamaica and eat food. So you can tell me about some destinations that we should go to.
I'm for the adventure.
You're for the adventure?
I'm for the adventure. So for example, I love waterfalls and river.
Yes.
Right. The thought of conquering a waterfall is what I'm thinking.
Oh,
right?
so you have to climb?
I have to climb it. Like if I can climb it, if it's possible to climb it, I will climb it.
Oh,
right?
Look at you. Where's that?
This is Reach Falls.
Okay.
Where it's
that's Blue Hole.
No, this is Reach Falls in Portland.
Sure? Oh, fancy.
This is Blue Hole.
Oh.
Where I actually climbed from the bottom of that waterfall
And
to the
up there,
top,
sir? Oh.
through the river and the flowing water.
You did say you like adventure.
It was
I don't think I would have done that part.
I didn't know there was a step. That was the thing. That's the funny part.
Oh, that's a good picture. Who's the photographer? Your photographer, go on, man.
Yeah, man. This one is at Duns River. This one is at Duns River. After easy climb.
Man.
It's an easy climb and very popular destination for all the tourists.
Yeah, man.
And
I like Duns River. I really enjoy Duns River.
Very beautiful, but you have to be careful of like the slippery stones.
Yes.
Sometimes I saw a lady slip and slide, and I'm sorry, I did not mean to laugh as loud as I did.
Oh no,
yeah.
Kirk. That was just a response, Kirk. You don't apologize for a response. I'm sure you shouldn't even contain
not okay. Don't condone it, Shelley.
The bright side is she was fine.
She was fine.
She got a little bruise, but she was fine.
When you see people kill Poopa Lick, you have to laugh. That's the rules.
That's not nice at all. But you know what I'm realizing is that road trips can be different themes. So you are clearly into the food and the experience and the people. Kirk, you're about the adventure. I'm about the relaxation. That's why I go to the spas and the days like. So for example, I think that one of my favorite spots is Castleton Botanical Gardens. It's not too far from Kingston. Did you know one of the oldest botanical gardens in the Western Hemisphere?
I didn't know that, but it's beautiful.
We have it right here in Jamaica.
It's like right up the hill.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
You get beautiful plants and trees and flowers, plus the river, plus it's not too far from Kingston. It's not too much money to enter. You know, it's a
You know how I end up at Castleton Botanical Gardens the first time? I was driving past and I needed to use the facilities.
Oh, and the ladies' room. Look at it.
And somebody introduced it to me and said, you can go over there. And I went over there and I saw it and I was like, wow. So I went over there on purpose after that, but that's how I went there the first time. It's gorgeous.
What I love about places like this is that sometimes people say, oh, we can't do a road trip. We don't have no big money. And we don't have no whole heap of time. But there are lots of stops that you can make, like at Castleton, that if you're in Kingston, is not very far and it's not very expensive at all. I mean, things like the Dolphin Coves or it might be a little more of an investment, but still worth it because I don't believe tourists must come and see places that we don't know. I think we should all experience those things, but some of them we can do more on a budget.
Big point, and on that we've got to go, but I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in this morning, and definitely grab your friends and go and explore Jamaica, man. Find out what's going on out on the road. Come from in front of the TV after the show done, right? Special thanks to TK for joining us, and big up my favorite co-host, Kirk. And as you go off in your day today, enjoy the rest of it, and of course remember to be good, be on purpose. Take care, walk good.
Jamaica, make some noise and cheer on Team Jamaica.
So we do it every time when we celebrate. Tell them start the race at Jamaica, we say all the way. All the way. When we touch the stadium, you know say we jamming there.